So I'm sure that he ain't gonna change. He's gonna be who he is, and again, he don't bother me. I don't think 2 seconds about none of that because he's not on my level. You know what I mean? It's like he's not talking about business. You know what I mean? It's just giving his opinion, trying to promote his son. I don't agree with. Floyd told me many years, probably 25 years ago, that what kind of person he was. But initially, I'm just being honest. I didn't believe him. I had to see it for myself. Yeah. And my description of him, he's a horrible person.
In a recent interview, Leonard Ellerbe dropped some surprising statements that have added even more pressure to Floyd Mayweather's situation. The former head of Mayweather Promotions didn't hold back, sharing details that many believe were meant to stay behind closed doors. According to Ellerbe, there are serious financial issues lingering in the background, including mounting debts and talk of bankruptcy. He also suggested that the same money troubles that reportedly kept Mayweather tied up in Dubai last year may not be completely resolved after all. If these claims are accurate, they paint a very different picture from the image of financial dominance that Floyd has carefully built over the years. And now, with these revelations out in the open, the spotlight on his finances is brighter than ever.
Live an American dream, man. You got 55 cars, 40 girlfriends.
Well, actually,
you're a billionaire now, right? Come on, let's salute this billionaire on stage.
But how many years ago you was broke? When I say broke, you ain't have a lot of money. You was just barely making it.
The way he spoke about Mayweather left many fans wondering whether this was more than just honesty. Was it personal? Some even questioned if he was settling scores after being removed from his position as CEO. Think back to this same period last year, when reports surfaced that Gervonta Davis had confirmed Floyd was being held in Dubai. At the time, many people doubted the story. But according to recent claims, there was truth to it. The situation allegedly involved unresolved financial obligations, and Floyd was said to have been allowed to leave only under the agreement that he would settle those debts within a year. If he failed to do so, he would reportedly have to return to Dubai to renegotiate and reassess the matter. When Ellerbe was later asked directly about Mayweather's current financial standing, he initially tried to sidestep the question. But the interviewer pushed back, suggesting that a clear answer could finally address the rumors and speculation once and for all.
However, the interviewer claimed his response was going to help clear the air.
Floyd had posted that you was no longer a part of Mayweather Promotions. You care to say anything about that?
There's nothing to say other than I appreciate the opportunity to do something amazing. We had an incredible run, and I'm forever grateful and thankful. Blessed.
Yeah.
Blessed.
Yeah.
That's blessed.
I love to hear that.
According to Leonard Ellerbe, Floyd Mayweather was unable to clear the outstanding debt within the agreed time frame, which reportedly forced him to return to Dubai to address the matter directly. The timing of that trip raised eyebrows, especially since it happened while several other controversies were swirling around him. Around the same period, stories began circulating about exaggerated claims of purchasing a $42 million mansion in New York, unresolved payments to high-end jewelry retailers, and questions surrounding tax-related issues. All of it combined to create a wave of speculation. Ellerbe suggested that, despite appearances, this wasn't an escape. In fact, he implied the situation overseas was even more intense. He claimed there were significant financial obligations tied to luxury jewelers, ongoing tax complications, and that the liabilities in Dubai alone allegedly stretched into the hundreds of millions. According to that account, once those matters are handled abroad, Mayweather would then have to deal with any legal or financial consequences waiting back home.
Which he's done a good job thus far. But then sometimes there's a line that you cross with some of the things and you turn some people off.
In a move that caught many people off guard, Leonard Ellerbe claimed his departure from Mayweather Promotions wasn't voluntary in spirit. It was necessary. According to him, ongoing financial misconduct and poor management decisions made it impossible for him to continue. That he described the decision as painful but unavoidable. Ellerbe suggested that Floyd had made repeated mistakes over the years, and that he personally felt the consequences of those choices. In his words, it had gone on for far too long, and staying any longer simply wasn't an option. That, of course, not everyone is buying his version of events. Some critics argue that there may be personal resentment involved. There have long been whispers of tension between the two, with certain voices suggesting jealousy played a role in their fallout. As the interview circulated, fans quickly flooded the comment sections with their own theories. One viewer pointed out that many athletes struggle financially after retirement due to extravagant lifestyles and questionable investments. They also suggested that Mayweather's public persona is heavily built around extreme wealth, which could create pressure to exaggerate his net worth. Another commenter addressed the Dubai situation more skeptically. They argued that travel restrictions typically apply to a primary passport and that leaving the country wouldn't necessarily be impossible. The same person speculated that the issue might involve a private dispute with someone influential in the UAE, potentially even a member of a royal family with significant reach at this point. The narrative is split between allegations, speculation, and public opinion, and the full truth remains difficult to pin down.
Just barely making it.
Today, I ran all the way in here
Why?
because I couldn't even buy a bus ticket.
That's crazy.
But you still had 55 cars.
No, I don't.
What happened?
Well, I bought myself some crack,
Dang.
and then more crack.
As speculation continued to spread online, more fans began offering their own theories about why he may have traveled to Dubai in the first place. One commenter claimed there could be multiple reasons behind the situation. They suggested everything from potential financial investigations to disputes involving casino losses. According to that theory, he may have allegedly exceeded a credit line at a casino, attempted to leave without settling the balance immediately, and was then prevented from departing until the issue was resolved. It's important to note that these are unverified claims circulating online, but they've certainly fueled public curiosity. Not all reactions were measured. Some critics took a harsher tone, accusing him of portraying a lavish lifestyle on social media while allegedly dealing with serious financial strain behind the scenes. One particularly blunt commenter mocked his image, suggesting that the persona of endless wealth might be cracking under pressure. From admiration to skepticism, the narrative around him seems to be shifting. Whether these stories are exaggerated rumors or grounded in reality, one thing is clear. The conversation surrounding Floyd Mayweather's finances has become louder and far more divided than ever before.
The disrespect thing, that's just something I don't get into. Floyd's a legend in the sport. He's accomplished everything in the sport, beat everybody. He's TBE.
He made it clear that there was no personal disrespect intended. In his view, Floyd is still a legend in the sport, someone who has faced elite competition and built a legacy few can match. But admiration for accomplishments inside the ring doesn't automatically silence concerns outside of it. The former CEO of Mayweather Promotions went on to suggest that Floyd may have miscalculated the financial upside of his most recent exhibition bout. According to him, that fight was meant to serve as a temporary lifeline, a way to generate quick revenue amid mounting obligations. Ellerbe claimed the actual earnings from the event were closer to $20 to $25 million, a significant figure by most standards, but allegedly far below what would be required to fully resolve outstanding debts overseas. He implied that this financial gap could explain why there has been urgency around securing another high-profile exhibition, potentially even against Jake Paul. If those obligations remain unsettled after extended delays, the situation could reportedly escalate. That's the warning being suggested. What makes these claims difficult for some fans to reconcile is the public image. Floyd continues to showcase luxury cars, private jets, designer shopping sprees, and high-end living across social media. To many, that doesn't align with the idea of serious financial strain. The question remains. Is this simply speculation amplified by former associates and online critics? Or is there more happening behind the scenes than the public realizes?
Bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
A growing number of fans have criticized Leonard Ellerbe, accusing him of turning against Floyd Mayweather by speaking publicly about sensitive financial matters after leaving Mayweather Promotions. However, others argue the fallout between the two didn't start with Ellerbe. According to that perspective, tensions have been building for years, and the breakdown of their relationship may have begun long before any public statements were made. Supporters of Ellerbe suggest that his recent comments are less about betrayal and more about responding to how he believes he was treated behind the scenes. For a long time, Ellerbe remained quiet about the controversies surrounding Mayweather's finances. But after stepping away from the company, he gradually began addressing topics he had previously avoided. That shift has fueled speculation about what really happened between the former business partners. There are also claims circulating online that Ellerbe has been cooperating with authorities by sharing information related to business dealings and locations. However, these allegations remain unverified, and no official confirmation has substantiated those claims. That what's clear is that the once tight-knit partnership between Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe has unraveled in a very public way. And the narrative now depends largely on which side of the story people choose to believe.
Guess what? You can do the same. It's all about making power moves.
Yeah, I think yeah.
And I'm pointing like this because all of them. We're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on. You know what we do?
Reports from boxing insider Rick Glazer added another layer to the story, as he also acknowledged that something unusual had taken place. Still, Floyd Mayweather's continued public appearances led some supporters to believe the allegations were exaggerated, or that whatever issue existed had already been resolved privately. But Leonard Ellerbe has presented a far more serious version of events. He claimed that Mayweather was not simply dealing with a routine dispute, but was effectively restricted in Dubai until certain financial matters were addressed. According to Ellerbe, his release allegedly came with strict conditions, including limitations tied to his bank accounts until outstanding obligations were settled. Ellerbe suggested that, due to his former role as CEO of Mayweather Promotions, he had inside knowledge of the situation, possibly even before figures like Gervonta Davis were aware of it. What makes the story more confusing is the claim that, although Mayweather has since returned to the United States, certain financial ties, or obligations in Dubai, remain unresolved at this point. The situation is layered with competing narratives, public appearances that suggest business as usual, and insider claims that paint a far more complicated picture behind the scenes.
All this money made. No partners. All by myself. Over 1,000 apartments. I'm just getting started.
Although Leonard Ellerbe stopped short of providing specific details about any alleged detainment, online leaks and rumors over the past few weeks have kept the conversation alive among boxing fans. One circulating claim suggests that Mayweather was extended a massive line of credit at a casino and later lost the funds while gambling. Because commercial casinos are not legally operated in Dubai, speculation has centered around the possibility that the venue involved was a private gaming establishment. However, none of these claims have been officially verified. According to the same rumors, complications escalated quickly. There were reports that his private jet was prevented from departing and that financial restrictions were placed on his accounts, allegedly blocking access to funds at the airport. Again, these details remain based on anonymous leaks and online discussion rather than confirmed legal findings. At this stage, the story is fueled largely by speculation, insider commentary, and fan interpretation. Without formal documentation or official statements, separating fact from rumor continues to be a challenge.
I want to talk a little about big news came down yesterday. Leonard Ellerbe no longer in at Mayweather Promotions. Seems like that's happened a couple times over the course of the years back. Because I remember years ago, I was thinking Richard Schaefer was going to take over, but now apparently that is happening. Thoughts on Leonard Ellerbe making his way out?
I think Leonard is still in a good position, and I don't think that it was any animosity between.
According to circulating reports, the alleged restrictions in Dubai did not involve traditional imprisonment. Instead, the claim suggests that Mayweather was free to move within the country and maintain his lifestyle, but was not permitted to leave until certain financial matters were resolved. Some rumors even allege that authorities closely monitored his private jet to prevent any departure while obligations remained unsettled. But the center of the speculation is the belief that he may owe a substantial sum, with online discussions placing the figure in the hundreds of millions. There are also claims that he has been making extremely large monthly payments toward outstanding balances. However, none of these numbers have been confirmed through official documentation. Critics argue that his continued display of luxury, private jets, high-end purchases, and extravagant spending appears inconsistent with the idea of someone trying to aggressively reduce debt. Supporters, on the other hand, maintain that public appearances can be misleading and that high-net-worth individuals often structure finances in ways that aren't visible to outsiders. Some commentators have also pointed to Dubai's strict financial regulations, noting that unresolved debts in the UAE can lead to serious legal and travel consequences. Still, there has been no formal public statement from Dubai authorities, U.S. officials, or the White House addressing these specific allegations. Adding to the drama, figures within Mayweather's extended boxing circle, including Gervonta Davis, have previously made comments suggesting that something significant was happening behind the scenes. Leonard Ellerbe, who for years avoided speaking publicly about Floyd's private matters, has now become one of the most vocal sources fueling the discussion. Whether these claims represent insider truth or amplified rumor remains unclear. What is certain is that the story has evolved from quiet whispers to why.
And Leonard, I just think that it was just time for him to move on.
Of course, Leonard is very wrapped up in PBC type stuff here with this promotion and everything that they do. Do you think that played any part in him leaving Mayweather Promotions?
I guess it could have played a part. I mean, if you're in between promotions, you're working with one and you're not working with